Hi there, I'm Dani and this is Practical Mummy Loves Luxury. Welcome to my series of videos for new or expecting parents. Today's topic is going to be on how to pack a nappy bag. I will cover essential things that you need to bring on an outing with a baby, and that includes stuff for the baby and stuff for mum and dad. I will also talk about packing these essential items into a traditional nappy backpack and also a trendy tote. I will talk about my preferred option and why. All the relevant products that I talk about in this video will be linked in the description box below. And without further ado, go grab some paper and pen and let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to talk about things that you may bring on an outing. Now I'm going to be talking about as many things I can think of for the age of 0 to 6 months. You don't necessarily have to carry all these things, and exactly what you carry may differ slightly from the list that I'm talking about because it will depend on the needs of your baby. So the first thing I've got here is a baby change mat. This one is from Kmart. It opens up to quite large and this can be placed on the floor to change your baby. I also carry these disposable change mats, especially if I know that the change is going to be very messy. This way you can throw it out into a bin straight away without having to carry the mess home. Baby wipes, tissue paper, nappy cream, nappies. Now when my daughter was really young, she opened her bowels really regularly, so I usually made sure that I carried at least 4 nappies along on an outing, but the number of nappies that you carry will depend on your child and how frequently they have wet or dirty nappies, and also how long you will be going out for. I would often bring some plastic bags to also wrap her dirty nappies in. The alternative is to use a wet bag. I usually also bring at least 1 change of clothes for my daughter and potentially a change of clothes for myself, and this is in case they have a nappy explosion and they need to change their clothing, or if they have a spew and they spew on themselves as well as yourself. Hand sanitizer. Now if you're breastfeeding, you may want to bring a breastfeeding cover. I don't have one with me anymore, so I'm going to put one on screen. If your baby is drinking formula, you're going to need a formula dispenser with formula in it, and you're also going to need some formula bottles. What I used to do with my daughter was I would pre-fill the formula bottles with cooled boiled water. They would be room temperature, but when I made up the formula itself, my daughter wasn't bothered with drinking room temperature water. However, there are some parents who choose to bring some warm water in a hot flask as well. Just a tip in regards to formula dispensers. So not all formula dispensers are like this, but if you happen to have one like this one, you'll see that this dispenser is divided into 3 sections. In terms of the lid, there's also 1 section to make sure you dispense just 1 portion of the formula. Do make sure if you have a container like this, that this third is lined up with these lines as well. Because if they don't line up, if the lid is closed as such where the third of the lid is across 2 compartments, it means that the formula from 1 compartment can travel to the next compartment when it's moving around in a bag. In Australia, we start children on solids between the age of 4 to 6 months. So if your child is on solids as well, you're going to need to bring their food along. What I like to do is to pack the solids in a see-through lunch bag, which means I can see exactly what's inside straight away. And on a similar note, I would also use see-through containers so that I can see exactly what food is inside. For example, if you pack a snack for yourself and also a snack for your child, it would be really a lot quicker to be able to see what's exactly inside without having to open the container. Now for travel, I also want to talk about this container. This one is by Bbox. So the container has a lid, but what's special about this is that it has a valve, which means that your child can subsequently put their fingers in, and as they bring their food out, whatever excess will be caught by these finger-like projections, and that's going to minimize mess in the car. So I think this is great for travel. When your baby is drinking from a sippy cup as well. Now, when your baby is very young, you may need a burp cloth to place on your shoulder to burp your baby, just in case they spew up on your shoulder. When my daughter was very young, I used to have 2, so 1 to burp her and also 1 to cover her pram or her capsule when she's about to go to sleep to cut out any visual stimulation. The next thing is bibs. I want to talk briefly about the Bandana Bibs. I really prefer Bandana Bibs over standard bibs, and this is because when a standard bib is attached or placed on the baby, most of the bib tends to rest on the baby's chest, and if the baby is drooling, all the drool tends to come down their chin and roll into the creases of their neck before it gets to the bib. So they tend to get quite moist and quite smelly in their neck. With the Bandana Bibs, when they're attached, they tend to roll up around the chin like this, and therefore any drool tends to be caught by the bib, and obviously I find that much more hygienic. They come in lots of patterns. This specific one has a dummy attachment, and there are other ones that have a chew corner as well. If your child uses a dummy, you got to bring a dummy, and here I have a dummy clip. I find this handy because it means that the dummy doesn't go rolling on the floor if the baby happens to drop it. You can also bring toys or books to entertain your child during the outing. I think bubbles are lots of fun and can be very entertaining for a little child. A hat if it's a very sunny day. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I like to carry out an old mobile phone with a white noise app on it because it helps baby sleep. I'm just going to throw this in there. This is the health record of a child, and every single baby that's born in Australia would get one. We also call it a blue book. Parents are supposed to bring this book to every doctor's or nurse's visit, so I usually like to make sure I have this on my list of things to bring along just in case we're going to see a doctor or a nurse. Don't forget to carry some stuff for yourself as well. The obvious things would be things like your purse, your mobile phone, your lip balm, your house keys, your car keys. You may also want to throw in a hat or sunglasses, and definitely a snack for yourself. Now, if you are someone like me who had very expensive sunglasses before you had a baby, you might be interested in looking for a cheaper pair of sunglasses. I really like this pair. This is by Hump Optics. Hump as in camel hump. These sunglasses have been advertised to be very hardy, so in their ads they run over these sunglasses with a vehicle. I'm not saying that I'm about to do that, but I have owned these sunglasses for a few months now and they've held up really well. My daughter does like to play with them, and I'm much more comfortable with her playing with these compared to my designer sunglasses. Their lenses are also polarized, and I think their price is relatively reasonable. I paid approximately 70 Australian dollars, including delivery. And this is not sponsored. This company has no idea that I am making this video. But yes, I think these are a great alternative if you're looking for a hardier pair of sunglasses. So those are all the baby essentials, but I'll share a hack with you. I would suggest that you keep a checklist of things. I have one in my nappy bag and I store it in the front pocket. This makes sure that I always have something to refer to when I'm packing my baby's nappy bag and I don't forget anything. The other advantage is that it means that anyone else can pack the nappy bag by referring to this list. It's not just mommy that has to do it. Here I've just written it on a random piece of cardboard. If you're a little bit extra like me and you're thinking of laminating this, I would say that you don't have to, because the needs of your baby changes quite frequently and this list gets updated on a regular basis. So if you really want to laminate it, go ahead, but I personally haven't found the need to do so. Now moving on to the two styles of bag that you can use as your nappy bag. The first one is a traditional nappy backpack and the other one is a fashionable tote. The reason I have chosen these two bags is because I think that they're on two ends of the spectrum. One is a specific nappy bag, which is a backpack, and this is more practical. However, I'm going to talk about the tote bags because it's for the fashionista moms who do not want to carry a bag like this. Now, I'm going to say that I'm in the camp of the nappy bag backpack, and that's for many reasons. I really like this system because it's much more practical. Number one, it is a backpack, which means that you carry it on your back, you get to be hands-free, and because this specific bag comes with broad padded shoulders, it's much more comfortable to carry, and also the weight of the bag is distributed across two shoulders, which makes it more ergonomic. Specific nappy bags also have certain features that would meet the needs of a mother and a child. As an example, in the front pocket of this bag, there are insulated compartments to carry warm bottles of water. This bag also has this attachment where you could potentially attach the baby's dummy. This bag is also fantastic because it has huge capacity and a lot of compartments as well. It also has these metal stirrups which holds the mouth of the bag open. It has these 2 straps which makes it really easy to just pick up. When you're doing a nappy change as well, you can hang one strap against the hook and the bag will just fall open for really easy access. I'm going to share another hack with you. With this zipper, I think it's very intuitive for people to just pull on this zipper in that direction and try and close the zipper that way. But it's actually easiest to close when you pull this tab downwards and it just zips up really easily. And that's even when the bag is quite full. What I do like specifically about this bag from Sunveno is that it is canvas, which will make it lighter than a leather backpack. What I've also deliberately done is to choose a bag that is gender neutral, which means that my husband can carry it too, not just me. With a backpack as well, it means that anyone else, for example, a grandparent or a nanny, can take the child out just with that backpack versus allowing them to take out my potentially more expensive fashionable tote. The only disadvantage I think there is about this bag is obviously it's not as feminine and it may not go with very girly dresses, but I guess I tend to avoid wearing those anyway when I go out with my daughter at the moment. The other thing I want to show you, and is quite a common feature that you will see in baby products, is this elastic loop here. It's to secure any excess strap length. So what you would do is you would roll up this strap right here, and then you would loop this elastic strap over. And this way you don't have so much strap just flapping all over the place. This bag is from Sunveno. There are many other brands that make exactly the same bag. But having said that, there are a lot of other brands that make bags that are very similar, that are not nappy bags. They are for adults. I tend to see a lot of cyclists carrying them. The adult ones don't tend to have these insulated compartments. So when you're shopping online for a nappy bag, if you're interested specifically in the features that are in this bag, check carefully to make sure that it has all the features that you've got. Now, in terms of how to pack it, I'm going to move on to a top-down view so you can get a closer look. So here we are in my top-down view of my Sunveno backpack. So there is a main compartment, and the main compartment has 2 front pockets here. It has a zippered pocket over here. It has a pocket on this side and also a pocket on this side. On the back, there is a zippered compartment here, and there's another compartment over here. This compartment is directly connected to the main compartment of the bag. And when you unzip this compartment, there's actually another small compartment back here too. There's some side pockets which are elasticated, so one on each side. And now I'm going to show you how I pack it. I would usually pack at least 4 nappies, so I will put 2 nappies in each of these compartments. And then in the main compartment, the first thing I would put in is a spare set of clothes. I'll pack some toys and her books. This is her placemat, and I would place it against the back of the bag. Her hat. Baby wipes. I would place the baby wipes in one side pocket. I also always pack a Bluey or disposable continence mat, and I'll put it in the same pocket as her baby wipes. A bib. If they're already started on solids, I would pack the solids. In here, I would also include a snack for myself or for Dad. Also, inside the sandwich bag that carries her solids, I would also place her dummy clip and her dummy. I would wrap her dummy up in some tissue paper first. 2 muslin cloths. Some small containers of nappy cream. I often put this in the front pocket because it's small. Water bottle or sippy cup. I would place this in an outside pocket. Formula container. Hot flask. Mobile phone with white noise. I would usually put that in the back compartment here for easy access. Formula bottle with cooled boiled water. And I will put this one in the front pocket in one of the insulated compartments. Hand sanitizer. And if she was going to see her doctor or a nurse, I would also bring her blue book along. As you can see, the bag is pretty full now, but I will be able to still zip it up. And I would place my mobile phone and my lip gloss and my keys in this compartment here. And I would place my long wallet in this compartment here. As I said before, this compartment is connected to the main compartment, and I would just rest my long wallet along here. It made it really easy just for myself to access. Now, moving on to the tote style. I tend to use this bag for work, and if you're specifically interested in this bag, it is from Tocco Toscano, and I'll leave a link in the description box below. In terms of its advantages, I think it is much more aesthetic and much more feminine than the backpack. It also has very large capacity, so you can carry a lot of things in it. And it's also open access, which means it's very easy to get in and out of. So the disadvantage of this style, I think, is that most fashionable totes do not come with zippers. So this does mean that you can't pack the bag so full because there's a risk of the items falling out. And when you place the bag down on the floor, or if you drop it, your items are very likely to fall out as well. And similarly, touch wood, if there's pickpockets around, it's very easy to then also access items within the bag. And if you pack a lot of stuff in your bag, you will then have to carry all this weight just on one shoulder, which could get quite uncomfortable. And because it's a tote bag, I'm not sure that every husband would be willing to carry it. So in terms of carrying the essentials in a tote bag, you would carry the same list of things that we already talked about. However, to still stay organized with the tote bag, I would suggest using pouches. So I would suggest that you would use one pouch for changing items, one pouch for feeding. There are pouches on the market that have been made specifically for this purpose. So it says feed me or change me. If you really want, you can certainly go and purchase those. However, if you're someone who has a lot of pouches like me, I would not necessarily encourage you to go and buy more. I would usually just make do with what I've got. Now, another comment that I want to make is that I do not think every pouch is created the same when it comes to practicality. I would personally always go for the see-through pouch, similar to my feelings towards see-through food containers. See-through pouches mean that you can see exactly what's in the pouch straight away. So if there was just feeding stuff in here, you'd see the feeding stuff in here. And if you open the bag, you'd be able to grab it straight away. And it also means that anyone else who's looking for items don't have to be calling out for you to ask which pouch it is in. They can see exactly which pouch contains the items they're interested in and just grab it themselves. The other advantage of see-through pouches over pouches that say feed me or change me. For example, in my family, I do have family members who do not read or speak English. Therefore, pouches that are labeled with English words are not going to be helpful. And again, they would be asking, so which pouch is this item in? Whereas see-through pouches would negate that problem. I did find some good size see-through pouches on Amazon, and I'll link them in the description box below. So earlier in the video, I did talk about carrying your mummy essentials as well in the nappy bag. You certainly can do that. However, I have another suggestion for you, and I've recently only used this system and I found it more helpful. So I carry a wallet on chain or a clutch. So what I tend to do is to carry this crossbody on myself, and then I would wear the backpack over. And I really like this system because it means that if I'm by myself, I am still fine to just take the nappy bag off and leave it somewhere all on its own without being too worried that my essentials are being left unattended. And this would be a lot lighter to carry around while I'm chasing around a toddler. With this system as well, it means that if there's someone else with me, they can take the nappy bag off me to help me carry it, and I'll still have my essentials on me as well. This one is from Saint Laurent, and I'll put its exact name up on screen for you if you're interested in this specific one. So out of all the wallet on chains that I've looked at, this was the largest one that I found. And not that I really want one that's larger. This specific wallet on chain can carry my cash, my credit cards, my car keys, my mobile phone, my lip balm. So I tend to carry this instead of a long wallet. I also use this bag as like my only wallet. So if I was carrying a larger bag, I would just grab this bag and put it into the bigger one. Now, if you don't like a style like this, because you might find that it's a little bit too fussy, I think the other really handy option is to carry something like a fanny pack or a bum bag. which would probably have similar capacity as this bag and would also give you the similar convenience of being hands-free to manage a toddler. So my upcoming video is going to be about my favorite car accessories that make sure that my outings always go as smooth as possible for the whole family. So if you're interested in that, please make sure you subscribe and click on that notification bell to make sure you get an email when I post that video. In the meantime, don't forget to check out these videos over here. If you like this video, please make sure you click on that thumbs up button. That little small kind gesture from you will cost you nothing. However, it will really help out my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.